over something related to the economy. Actually, there was an article also on the same page of the New York Times. Job losses slow in July, signaling a shift in the economy. Because you don't have to even read any further to know that they're jumping to the conclusion there, saying, boy, it's turning around, you know. Actually, the Newsweek cover was that the recession is over. We've only lost 250,000 jobs last month. Therefore, we're on the mend. I don't know how you conclude that. Well, you know, the stimulus has obviously poured money into the economy in at least in terms of setting up contracts. Now, whether you're a contractor and you trust that the government has enough money to pay you is another matter. Apparently, they are making contracts and they're hiring people, but how long the money will be there is another question. What do you think about the spin? When I read that article, I thought, wow, they were just picking, you know, the three best apples out of the whole rotten barrel of economic news and saying, well, look, see, there's less rotten apples this month.
It reminds me very greatly of the manner in which the budget deficits are always being discussed, and the politicians will pat themselves on the back simply due to the fact that the acceleration rate of the budget deficit is slowing. So it's still increasing, but it's slowing at increasing at a slowing rate, and somehow that is the grounds for them to self-congratulate themselves, and it seems masturbatory to me.
It really is. It's counterproductive, self-pleasuring at the expense of some things you could be doing which are productive. That's an excellent analogy. The Department of Masturbation, that's another that's probably another area that needs a czar.
Yeah.
So it's the only thing that doesn't have a czar now. Gotta, dredge Jocelyn Elders out of retirement. Remember the Surgeon General under Clinton who had to retire because she promoted masturbation to the kids?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where's she when you need her? There'd be another good czar. Oh,
yes,
man.
There would be.
So, yeah, without going into the numbers on this thing, basically they're just trying to spin it to say that, the economy's recovering. Now, the Dow has gone back up, but I really believe the fundamentals are not there. And the only reason I believe that is because I have listened to a lot of Austrian-type economists as opposed to the Keynesians who believe you can spend your way out of recession. The Austrians basically believe you can't do that. You can only save and invest and let the free market set interest rates if you want to grow the economy in a real way. You can always inject and print money and in the short term create a little mini boom and have the government hand out credit by stealing from the rich and loaning to anybody who has a heartbeat. But how long can that last? Apparently we made it last around 20 years, but it's all falling apart. Even with the low interest rates, people are not... I'm not thinking about going out and buy, even though the housing prices are down. I'm not going to go out and get one, because I think there's a lot more downside. It's just not, the fundamentals aren't there. What do you think that about the the level of unemployment is one indicator, but do you really believe that the houses out there are still worth what you're seeing? I mean, when you open the paper, you're old enough, you're only a little bit younger than me, to remember when you could look up in the paper when you're a kid, when your parents were looking for a new house, and you look at hey, that's a cool one, and it was like listed at $38,000 or $45,000, you know? I can remember that. Now they're 10 times higher.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I think there's still quite a bit of room for sliding in the housing market. So I wouldn't go out and buy anything right now at the prices that things are.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense. I mean, if you just demythologize houses, think about houses, think about cars. Now, anything that's financed, of course, has been kind of bitten by this whole boom. even cars, I think, are overpriced for what we for what they are. But the idea that, now here's a good one: cash for clunkers. They're paying people to turn their cars in and have them destroyed, so that you'll go out and finance another car. Anyway, what got us into this whole problem has been too much financing and putting too many things on credit. How do they think this will get us out of it? And especially, you would take perfectly good cars, which, I drove $400 cars for about the first 10 years of my driving life. So, I was fine with that. I was happy to have a car. But they're saying, no, those cars are clunkers. They're bad for the earth, so let's destroy them. I mean, it makes obviously no sense. And it's not going to help the economy. All it is just getting people to run out and finance a few more things, giving them false optimism. I don't think it's